So if you've been watching the news lately, you know that there has been a very famous affair going on between um, New England Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel and Diana Russini, the former ESPN and athletic quote-unquote insider reporter on the NFL. I also discovered recently that this affair has been going on for 6 years now. What if I told you that there was an even more famous affair that went on for 6 years back in the 1980s? It involves the British royal family. Of course, I'm talking about the affair between now King Charles, then Prince Charles, and Camilla Parker Bowles. This affair carried on between 1986 and 1992, so exactly 6 years. This continued on while, of course, Prince Charles was married to Lady Diana, who then became Princess Diana. Parker Bowles was a previous girlfriend of his. And they got back together again after his marriage to Lady Diana. This happened in 1986. And they carried on this affair for 6 years until 1992. The only thing that ended the actual affair was the fact that Prince Charles had actually legally separated from Diana in 1992. So the affair ended as a result of the separation, so it was no longer an affair. It then became an actual relationship in a traditional sense. This affair, of course, has continued on to this date because she is now Queen Camilla. And they got married, of course, after the separation. And unfortunately, in this particular case, Lady Diana, as everybody knows, Princess Diana was killed in a car accident in 1998. So a few years after the separation. It was a legal separation. They never technically got divorced. But he was no longer really in a committed relationship with Diana at the same time. So, what are the odds of an affair ever actually becoming a relationship such as this one? The answer that I've found in some research is somewhere around 7%. And I've kind of joked on my other social media platforms that, hey, maybe Mike Vrabel should just, ditch the whole charade and get married to Diana Russini. Well, according to my research, the odds of that happening are about 7%. I think such an event would actually benefit him a lot more than her because her career is already destroyed. She can't continue to report on the NFL without questions being brought up on every story on how she obtained that story. Given that she obtained these stories from Coach Vrabel by sleeping with him. So her credibility is now zero. He could still continue as a coach, but I think the fact that this affair has gone on for 6 years now, I think completely throws any moral standing of his behalf and throws that equally in the toilet as well. So a little bit of informal research is like, okay, what are the odds that those two could actually ditch their spouses and get married to each other? Again, 7%. It doesn't happen that often. But however, in the case of that historical incident with Prince Charles and Camilla Parker Bowles, it did happen. But only because of a legal separation and a future tragic accident regarding his actual legal wife, Princess Di, or Diana. So that him falling in the 7% was created by a very unusual series of events, obviously. Vrabel's not in this situation, at least not yet. So there it is. Another 6-year affair with a potential template for Vrabel and Russini. Possible, but very unlikely as well. So that's it for this episode. We hope you had fun with this one. I had fun looking it up. But anyhow, Mike Vrabel and Diana Russini are most certainly not. Princess Diana Spencer and Prince Charles. Vrabel and Russini are certainly not royalty of literally any kind. But will they ever get married like Charles and Camilla? Probably not. The odds are heavily against it. The circumstances are different enough where I can't see it. But I think it would be a lot easier for Mr. Vrabel to finally just say, you know what? Let's stop pretending. Again, I'm a Christian. I don't advocate divorces. I don't advocate splitting up. But in this particular instance, if they drop the charade, it might be a little bit easier on everybody in the end. And their respective current spouses can go on with their own lives as well. And can probably continue. By the way, both of these cheating partners have children of their own along with their actual spouses. And these children are obviously going to grow up traumatized because they're going to grow up knowing that their parents were cheating with other people. So I don't think there's any reason to really hide it anymore. But again, the circumstances and the historic past doesn't point this direction, even though I think it would be easier in the end, particularly for Coach Vrabel. But anyhow, that's it for tonight. You folks have a fantastic evening, and I will see you next time. Peace out, homies.